Let me ask you something. When you pictured the American dream, what do you see? A house in the suburbs, right? White fence, two-car garage, good school district, a yard for the kids, a neighborhood where everybody knows your name. That image has been sold to American families for 70 years. It is in every movie, every TV show, every financial advice column. Own a home, build equity. That is how you build wealth. But here is what nobody is telling you. For millions of American families right now, that suburban dream has become a financial trap so perfectly designed that most people cannot see it until it is too late. The average suburban homeowner in America is paying more than $1,800 a month in costs they never calculated when they signed the mortgage. Property taxes, HOA fees, maintenance, commuting, utilities, costs that never appear in the listing price. And those hidden costs are quietly draining the retirement savings, the college funds, and the financial future of middle-class families across this country. I'm Marcus. This is Macro Finance, and today we are going to expose every single one of those hidden costs and show you the smarter path forward. Let's go. Part 1. The Suburban Promise versus Reality. The dream that was built for a different era. The American suburban dream was born in the 1950s. After World War II, the federal government made a deliberate policy decision to incentivize homeownership. The GI Bill gave veterans low-interest mortgages. The interstate highway system was built, and developers started mass-producing affordable suburban neighborhoods. The pitch was simple and powerful. Stop renting, buy a home. Build equity. Give your family stability. And for that era, it worked. Homes were affordable. A single income could carry a mortgage. Property taxes were low. Gas was cheap. The suburbs genuinely made financial sense. But here's what happened to those numbers. In 1950, the median American home cost $7,354. The average annual income was $3,216. A home cost roughly 2.3 times your annual income. Today, the median home price is $412,000. The median household income is $74,580. A home now costs 5.5 times your annual income. Let me make this real. Marcus and Jennifer, Raleigh, North Carolina. Marcus and his wife Jennifer are 36 and 34 years old. They live in a suburb outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. Combined income, $112,000 a year. 2 kids, ages 5 and 8. 3 years ago, Marcus and Jennifer bought their dream home. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, cul-de-sac, great school district ratings, $415,000, 20% down, 30-year fixed mortgage at 6.8%. On paper, the smart move. Homeownership, equity building, exactly what they were told the American dream looks like. But 3 years in, Marcus and Jennifer are exhausted. Not from the house itself, from everything the house costs that nobody told them when they were signing the papers. Their mortgage payment is $2,175 a month,
almost double what they planned for. And the gap between those two numbers, that $2,165 difference, is bleeding their financial life dry. The mortgage payment is just the cover price. The real cost of suburban homeownership is the book nobody gave you to read. Here is how widespread this is. A 2024 Zillow survey found that 72% of American renters say they cannot afford the median home in their city, and 54% of existing homeowners say they could not afford their own home if they had to buy it today. Let that one sit for a second. Almost more than half of American homeowners could not buy the house they currently live in. Here is the thing about buying a suburban home in America today. The mortgage payment is the smallest part of the story. The real financial damage comes from 6 hidden cost categories that your real estate agent glossed over or never mentioned at all. Hidden cost number 1, property taxes. Property taxes in America average 1.1% of assessed home value per year. On Marcus's $415,000 home in Wake County, North Carolina, that's $4,565 per year, $380 per month, every month, forever. And here's what makes property taxes especially brutal. They go up as your home value increases. When your neighborhood appreciates, which is supposed to be the financial reward of homeownership, your tax bill rises in parallel. You're paying a recurring fee for your own equity. In high-tax states like New Jersey, Illinois, and Connecticut, property taxes on a $400,000 home can run $8,000 to $14,000 a year. That's $1,167 a month on top of your mortgage, just in taxes. Hidden cost number 2, HOA fees. Marcus's neighborhood has a homeowners association. Most new suburban developments do. His HOA fee is $285 a month. That covers lawn maintenance in common areas, the community pool, and the management company that sends letters when his trash can is visible from the street. The average HOA fee in the United States is now $250 to $330 per month. In some upscale developments, it runs $600 to $1,200 per month. And these fees typically increase 3 to 5% every year. But here's what nobody tells you about HOAs. They can assess special fees for unexpected repairs. Last year, Marcus's HOA sent a notice, $2,400 per household for repaving the community roads. Non-negotiable, due in 90 days, no vote, no warning. Hidden cost number 3, maintenance. Every financial advisor tells you to budget 1% of your home's value per year for maintenance. On a $415,000 home, that's $4,150 a year, $346 a month, every month. But in practice, the first 5 years of suburban homeownership are maintenance ambush season. Marcus's HVAC system failed in year 2, $6,800 to replace. His roof had storm damage in year 3, $4,200. The water heater is original to the house. The appliances are showing their age. A 2023 Angie survey found that the average American homeowner spent $6,413 in home maintenance and repairs in a single year. Not renovation, not improvement, just keeping the house from falling apart. Hidden cost number 4, the commute tax. Suburbs exist at a distance. That's their defining characteristic. Marcus's office is 31 miles from his home. Round trip, 62 miles a day, 5 days a week, 49 weeks a year. That's 15,190 commuting miles per year. At the IRS standard mileage rate, accounting for gas, wear, insurance, and depreciation, Marcus's commute is costing him $10,177 per year. $848 per month just to get to work and back. And that doesn't count the 2 hours of his life he loses every single day in traffic. 490 hours per year, more than 12 full work weeks. Time he could be spending with his 5-year-old and his 8-year-old before they're 15 and 18 and gone.
Commute cost alone, $10,177 per year. This number never appears on any mortgage disclosure. Hidden cost number 5, utilities. Larger homes cost more to heat, cool, and light. The average suburban home in America is 2,500 square feet. Marcus's average monthly utility bill in North Carolina, $387 a month, $4,644 a year. Hidden cost number 6, the school district premium. And here is the invisible tax almost nobody calculates. Marcus and Jennifer specifically chose their neighborhood for the school district ratings. great public schools, free education, right? Wrong. They paid a $45,000 to $60,000 premium above comparable homes in neighboring zip codes to access that school district. They are paying a private school tuition through their home price and property taxes, just spread out over 30 years and called something else. Part 3. The real financial math. Let me now build the complete picture of what Marcus's $415,000 home actually costs him over 30 years. Not the dream version, the real version. The mortgage, principal and interest at 6.8%, $2,175 a month. Property tax, $380 a month. Homeowner's insurance, $175 a month. HOA fees, $285 a month. Maintenance and repairs, $346 a month. Utilities, $387 a month. Commute cost, $848 a month. Total real monthly cost of Marcus's suburban home, $4,596 every single month. Annual cost, $55,156. Over 30 years, $1,525,680. $1.5 million for a $415,000 home. That is the real price of the American suburban dream. A $415,000 suburban home does not cost $415,000. It costs $1.5 million. The difference is the financial life you are trading away for a zip code. The wealth Marcus will never build. But here is the number that should truly disturb you. The difference between Marcus's mortgage payment and his total housing cost is $2,421 a month. That is money going to costs that build zero equity. Property tax, HOA, commute, insurance, maintenance, gone. If Marcus redirected that $2,421 every month into an S&P 500 index fund at 10% average annual return instead, in 20 years, $1,843,000. In 30 years, $4,885,902. Nearly $5 million. That is not the cost of a house. That is the cost of the dream. Part 4. Why families stay trapped. Here is the question you might be asking right now. If the math is this clear, why do so many families stay? Because the trap is not just financial, it is psychological, and the psychological barriers are often more powerful than the dollar figures. Reason 1. The sunk cost fallacy. Marcus and Jennifer put $83,000 down when they bought the house, their entire savings from 10 years of work. And they've spent 3 years building what feels like roots, the kids' rooms, the backyard memories, the neighbor friendships. The sunk cost fallacy says we've already invested so much we can't leave now. Even when the financial logic says clearly, stop the bleeding, the emotional investment keeps families locked in. Harvard Business School behavioral economists have repeatedly confirmed this pattern. The more people invest in a bad financial decision, the harder it becomes to exit, because admitting the mistake feels worse than continuing to pay for it.
Reason 2. The school district trap. Marcus and Jennifer's 8-year-old is thriving at his school. His teachers know him, he has his friend group, his baseball team is there. Moving means disrupting his world. A new school, possibly a worse school, and for parents who sacrificed financially to get into this district, walking away from that sacrifice feels like failing your child. This is the school district trap, and it is one of the most powerful financial locks in suburban homeownership. Because no parent wants to do the math that says, I stayed in a home I could not afford because I was afraid my child would lose his Little League team. Reason 3. Social identity.
A home in a good suburban neighborhood is not just a financial asset in America, it is a social statement. It signals success, stability, that you have made it. Selling the house and downsizing feels like going backward, like failing publicly. Marcus has not told any of his friends or his parents how tight things have gotten, because admitting the dream is not working feels like admitting he made a mistake, and nobody wants to be the person who bought too much house.
68% of American homeowners feel house poor but have no plan to address it. Reason 4. The equity mirage. Here is the reasoning that keeps most families locked in even when they know something is wrong. But we're building equity. And yes, over time, home equity does build. Marcus's home has appreciated 11% since he bought it. On paper, that is $45,650 in equity gained. But here is the reality check. Marcus paid $55,156 in total housing costs last year. He built roughly $15,200 in mortgage principal reduction and perhaps $45,650 in unrealized appreciation. But he also spent nearly $30,000 on costs that built zero equity and will never be recovered. And every dollar of that equity is locked, illiquid, inaccessible unless he sells the house or borrows against it. You cannot pay your grocery bill with home equity. You cannot retire on a number that only exists on paper. Part 5. The smarter path forward. I'm not here to tell you to sell your house and move to a studio apartment. This is not a judgment about your choices or your family. This is about giving you a clear picture so you can make intentional decisions instead of being carried along by a system that was not designed with your best interests in mind. Here are 5 real strategies. Strategy 1. Run your real numbers right now. Most homeowners have never built a complete cost spreadsheet. They know their mortgage payment, they vaguely know their property taxes, they ignore the rest. This week, build the full picture. Mortgage, property tax, HOA, insurance, monthly maintenance average, utilities, commute, add it all up. Compare it to 28% of your gross monthly income. That is the recommended ceiling. If your total housing costs are above 35% of gross income, you are in the financial danger zone. Knowing the real number is the first step to doing something about it. Strategy 2. House hack your way to lower costs. If you have a basement, a spare bedroom, or an accessory dwelling unit on your property, renting it out can dramatically change your financial equation. Marcus has a finished basement. His neighbor rents a similar unit for $1,100 a month. If Marcus converts and rents his basement, that $1,100 every month covers his entire property tax and HOA bill for the year. One decision, one tenant, 2 of the biggest hidden costs completely neutralized. $1,100 per month rental income equals $13,200 per year, equals property tax plus HOA fully covered. Strategy 3. Set your refinance alert today. Marcus bought at 6.8% because that was the market rate, but interest rates are cyclical. When they drop to the 5% range, and historically they will, refinancing could reduce his payment by $280 to $340 per month. That's $3,360 to $4,880 per year, enough to fully fund a Roth IRA, enough to build a real emergency fund. Set a rate alert today. Know your break-even on refinancing costs. When the rate hits your number, move fast.
Strategy 4. Attack the commute cost. Marcus's $10,177 commute cost is the second biggest hidden expense in his life, and it is the most actionable.
2 remote days a week cuts his commute cost by 40%. That is $4,070 back in his pocket every year. Have that conversation with your employer. Frame it around productivity and retention. Many American employers are genuinely open to hybrid schedules in 2025. That one conversation could be worth $4,000 a year. Strategy 5. The right sizing conversation. And finally, the conversation most families are afraid to have. Are you in the right house for this stage of your life? Marcus and Jennifer bought a 4-bedroom home for a family of 4 with 2 young children. In 12 years, both kids will be heading to college. That 4-bedroom house will be 2 adults and 2,500 square feet of overhead. Right-sizing to a 3-bedroom home at $70,000 to $90,000 less could save them $600 a month in carrying costs and free up significant equity for retirement investing. This is not failure. This is financial intelligence. The best time to make a strategic move is before you are forced to make it. Part 6. The American suburban dream is not a lie. It was a real and achievable vision for a different era, a different economy, and a different version of what American life cost. But the dream calcified. The image stayed the same while the numbers changed completely. And now millions of American families are pouring their entire financial lives into maintaining a picture of success, while the retirement account stays empty, the college fund stays unfunded, and the stress stays constant. Marcus is not a cautionary tale. Marcus is a starting point. He now knows every number in his housing cost picture. He is house hacking his basement. He negotiated 2 remote days a week. He is watching rates for a refinance window. He is not waiting for the dream to work itself out. He is redesigning the dream around the reality of his life. You can do the same. The house does not define your success. Your financial freedom does. The dream was never the house. The dream was the freedom and security a home was supposed to provide. If the house is taking away the freedom, it is time to rethink the dream. If this video opened your eyes to costs you had never fully calculated, hit that like button right now. It helps this channel reach more American families who need to see these numbers. And comment below with this: what is your total monthly housing cost, mortgage plus everything else? Most people have never added it up. Do it now. Write the number in the comments. Make it real. Subscribe to Macro Finance for more. Every week we break down the real math behind money in America, not the glossy version, the real one. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.